can make tacos.
And Lindsay.
That's right.
You can do any seasoning in there.
You have any funny stories?
If you like ground turkey.
Yeah,
I just don't like
I think I have some.
The only time I
stories.
eat it is from this place near where I work, who makes a taco salad with ground turkey
One?
meat. And you see it's
You know, what I've never really gotten over.
What?
I just don't like
I was a
turkey.
Boy
I don't
Scout.
buy it.
And I was,
Excuse me.
I wanted to take and pass a certain merit badge.
So make it for
Are you
Maddie
familiar-
and freeze
Are you
it.
familiar with badges?
Little Ziplocs and defrost it when you
You take a certain test, and you earn it past a merit
Bella
badge.
stood up next to Zach. She wanted him to pick her up.
A merit badge.
Well, Zachary's listening
The
to
merit
all Daddy's
badge
stories and videotaping them.
is
Zach
are there many tests you have to test. Each test has a merit badge, and this one badge
I'll talk to you later.
was a reptile
I need more checks for him.
marriage
Jamie?
thing.
I
I
don't know
think
if this
that's
number
what
is
it's
on here,
called.
this 800 number, but it says
And I
you
had to
email.
kill a
You
man.
write the
In order
box
to pass
doc,
it,
check.
I had to kill
All I
a
have to do is tell the
frog.
bank.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a frog, and I didn't know how to kill it because I was hurting it.
Yeah.
And it make it give it an easy death. I couldn't figure out a
You
way.
done with this?
So I asked everybody. And they all said the same thing. I don't know. That's when I was in camp. I found out later
In my
on
refrigerator. I need
that
to put
you
this.
pith it, PTH,
Yeah.
and you stick a pin in its head. I had no idea that was it. So how am I going to kill it? So I still feel bad about it. I had its head stuck. I put it in some sort of a chemical.
Uh-huh.
I forget what chemical it was. And drowned it.
There's a bull.
Never felt good about that since that time.
What are you supposed to
Still
do?
bothers me to this day. Then I dissected it, which I was supposed to do. But killing it, I was never happy about.
Mm.
I wanted to
Look,
give it
Jamie, I need this
an
fit.
easy death.
Yeah.
The doors all messed up.
Well, now you know.
Now I know. I didn't know then.
Well,
I
you have
think that was when I was a Boy Scout.
you have any stories of your like grandchildren in general when we were young?
Well, my grandchildren.
Like people would like to hear about that.
Well, I just have my great grandchildren, and my great grandchildren, and of course my grandchildren are all Corey, Kate, and Zach.
Call Corey Byrne.
That's the youngest daughter. Then the middle daughter has
Stephanie and Lindsay.
I don't know what the hell's with me, but I guess I'm losing it.
Names are tough.
Yeah.
Stephanie and Lindsay.
Stephanie and Lindsay.
Yeah.
And the other is Lauren and Danny.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren is the oldest.
Yeah. Oh.
And Corey and Zach are about the same age.
Corey and Danny.
Corey's a little older.
Yeah.
girls.
Kate and Lindsay are like.
Kate
You need a new purse.
and the Stephanie, Lindsay, and Lauren, and Danny.
Well, I like the story you had of Kate and me.
Okay.
Do you have any others like that?
No. All I know is that Kate and Grandma didn't get along. It's funny. Sometimes I get so damn tired that I can't think straight.
Yeah.
Kate and my wife, of course your grandma, Thelma, didn't get along that well. Everyone else did.
Mm-hmm.
Kate's a good girl, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's a pretty girl, good looking girl. In fact, all my granddaughters are.
And grandsons.
And Thelma was a good looking girl. Good looking family.
Good looking family. That's us.
Anyhow, my father told me stories that were interesting. He once went with he went to Pennsylvania. He used to drive to Pennsylvania, and these were automobiles of the maybe when I was a little baby. So I was born in 1921, and they had cars before that. The first cars were the Fords, and he picked up whiskey, came back, and got held up. They knew he was carrying alcohol, so they took the alcohol away from him. Gangsters.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
I put it in the dryer.
Oh, you did. Where's your sweatshirt?
On the top of the washing
I gotta just.
Oh, there's a story I read in that book I had about, you're not familiar with the story about Billy Sutton, are you?
No.
Billy Sutton was a bank robber. Never killed anyone. He used the gun to straighten, but he never killed anyone. He wasn't a killer. And he was sitting on a bus, and he realized the bus sitting along in the bus on one of the other seats was the bank robber. What did I say his name was? Billy.
Sutton?
Huh?
Billy Sutton?
Right. Willie Sutton.
Willie Sutton.
So he got off the bus and reported it to the cop. And they arrested him. And he was sent to jail. and he was released after he served his sentence. But in the meantime, some idiotic mafia man didn't like him because he was bragging about his accomplishment, you know, and how bright he was, and recognizing that the guy was a Willie Sutton, the thief. So as punishment, this mafia man decided that he hated him enough to have him killed. A Jewish kid. What the hell was his name? I knew. But anyway, he was a Jewish kid. He was coming home from work. He worked in a shoe store. He was a young guy, about 20 years old. And he had two guys first shoot him in both eyes and then in the belly, and they killed him. So as punishment, the mafia itself wasn't happy with what he done, because a lot of people didn't like that. Well, he was bragging about a lot of on a program on TV. So they shot him dead. They killed the mafia man in a barbershop too. And there were a few other stories. There are a couple of good stories.
Jeez. It's gruesome.
It's downstairs, the book.
That's just some gruesome stuff.
I don't think they brought it up.
Oh, man.
Oh. And then there was, I get so damn tired.
Take a break.
Anyhow, I had a friend. He was one of the local guys. I decided he was fun, I liked him. And there was a program on radio at the time that my mother used to love to listen to. And she used to listen to it all the time. It was a program in which people listened to songs, and they were supposed to answer the titles of the song. So this friend of mine calls my mother and pretends to be one of those guys, because I mentioned that she always listens to it. Well, that was a damn insult. She was an older woman, and he picks up the phone and she says, "Oh, they're calling me on the program."
Why are you looking at me like that?
So I said, "Give me that phone, Mom." And right away I knew it was this guy being a wise guy. And I knew where he hung out. So I went down there and I said, "Danny Newman," that was his name, "I'm going to let you go this time. But if you ever pull another stunt like that, I'll kick the shit out of you."
What was he
Danny
trying
never talked to him again. I didn't like him.
He was trying to scam your mom?
Huh?
He was trying to scam your mom?
Yeah. I said, "You don't do that to one of your friend's mothers."
Yeah. You don't do that to anyone. Screw that guy.
Yeah. I had a good friend. Bobby Goldberg was a good friend. And then there was Jerry Berg and Eddie Simon. And I had another friend that they didn't seem to care for very much. Lenny Rosenberg. Lenny, poor guy, never saw. He graduated high school. He was a nice guy. He had a brilliant brother. His brother became a professor
You know, I would like I was saying
at, in a college in California, a very famous college. And he retired.
Take some responsibility.
And he became a doctor. He had a doctorate.
She's not changing.
And poor Lenny
It's unnecessary.
had trouble making a living. And he had a daughter that ran away, never came home.
Never came home?
Just to visit. She ran home and married a non-Jewish guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he had another daughter that never left the house. I don't know if she got married.
Let me ask
And
you
then there was Bobby and Jerry Bird and Eddie Simon.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Had a long life. You have any advice
Go ahead.
that you think you'd like to pass on?
What kind of advice?
Life advice. Just anything you think is relevant.
Oh, anything? that I
Parenting,
did?
marriage, life.
Well, for one thing, it's good to marry a girl you love.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easiest to marry a Jewish girl. You don't get much criticism. And I never had a shiksa for I just once, there was one shiksa I took out. And a couple I met that I took out to a local restaurant. What was the name of it? Was at Riverside Drive
Mm-hmm.
in
Ruts Hut?
Passaic.
Ruts Hut?
Ruts Hut.
Was it Ruts Hut?
Was she good?
No, was it Ruts Hut?
It was Ruts Hut.
I love
yeah.
Ruts Hut. It's my favorite restaurant.
Yeah, that's what used to park outside there. And neck with the girls. One day, I had a Model A Ford.
Uh-huh.
It was a 29 Ford. And I think it was an old 29. And I forget, it was quite old. And my brother borrowed the Ford, and I met this girl later on. I ran home and asked my father if I could use his car. So I went to Ruts Hut with her for a necking session. And who do you think pulls up next to me in my 29 Ford? My brother with his girlfriend.
Is that what the car looked like?
You
were necking together?
Yes. It was a coupe, this one.
Oh, is that one?
Yeah, but it didn't have the
The truck in the back.
no,
That's
it was
cool.
not a truck.
That's sleek, man. That's
Yeah, it had the trunk.
Did
in
it have a
back.
rumble seat? Did it have a rumble seat?
No, it was a business coupe.
a cool
The seat
car.
opened in the wrong place. But later on, I got rid of that car and bought a car with a rumble seat.
You know what a rumble seat is.
It was a 32 Chevrolet.
Little seat that was like in the tree.
Oh.
I had one
Dangerous.
that was about a 31 or 32 Chevrolet. My first year in college.
It's a cool car.
Oh yeah. It had a rumble seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eating hot dogs.
Oh, that's that was something for all the guys who used to live in there for their records.
How much was a hot dog back then?
It's so good.
I think it was 10 cents.
I haven't been there in so long.
Yeah,
It's the best.
they were delicious.
Oh,
Always liked West Side dogs.
can't. Yeah.
And then I remember during the day there was a male goat. Or was it a sheep? No, I think no, it was a goat who used to play games with you.
Mm-hmm.
You would put your head on his hands, on his head. You put your hands on his head and push, and he'd push against you. You had a push of not a power pull, but a push pull. It was so funny.
At Rutt's Hut?
Huh?
At Rutt's Hut?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Did a goat?
I don't know where the goat came from. Used to wander around there.
Those days. Instead of dogs or goats.
Must have not been a highway right there.
No, I don't think they're.
There was. There
It
could.
was a goat.
Yeah. That's funny.
It's a nice doggy.
Well, his advice is marry a Jew.
It's good advice.
That's the advice.
You never told me when
About,
growing up that you never told me when I was growing up that you forbid me, to date other, religions, but you always said to me I would prefer and you would be better off and it would be easier
that's
to
right.
marry somebody Jewish.
So they all married Jewish girls except
Amy?
except Amy.
No, well, Amy's first husband was
Yeah, but was Jewish.
Jewish.
But that didn't last very long.
No,
And then Sam.
Lori called me on the phone.
Amy.
Amy, and I took the airplane to Chicago and
She
drove
met you in
back with her in the
Chicago
car.
and you drove back to New Jersey.
He was a mean man, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't a nice person.
She didn't like her husband.
No.
Heard about that guy.
And he called me on the phone and he said, "Can you fix things up for me?" I said, "How am I going to fix things up? She's an adult."
Yeah.
Yeah, what? You're her father.
Yeah.
That guy was a dick.
He said nastier things to me when I picked up the phone.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't want to say it
Why?
on video.
Do it.
He said, "Where's your fucking sister?"
Oh,
I
jeez.
said, "Well, my fucking sister left you."
And Joyce, of course.
Say it. This is truth.
Joyce decided all of a sudden she didn't like her husband. He was a handsome guy.
Yeah, but looks is not everything.
I know.
There has to be more to it. There's two sides to every story.
I can't understand why she didn't like him. She was not happy with him.
Mm-hmm.
There were reasons, I guess. There were her reasons.
We'll ask her one day.
Yeah. She's not going to.
So she never remarried.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the only trooper here.
She's the only trooper. Right?
Trooper. Trooper.
I love my family.
Happy
I love
beer.
my children.
She married a Jewish man, a good man.
Jamie?
Yeah,
That's right.
always, his family has always been very important to him.
It's true.
Yep. My kids are great.
Well, my father gave me an ultimatum.
What was that?
Marry a Jewish girl. I remember there was a girl that lived in his house. He owned an apartment house, and the store was in the base on the first floor. And it started. He had
Google Maps
there
go
were
over
there were 3 floors. The first floor there were stores. Second floor apartments, and a third floor apartments. And he said to me, he caught me, I didn't know, making a date with the girl that lived in the house, Rosie Sankiewicz.
Uh-huh.
And next day he says to me, I see you took out Rosie Sankiewicz. I saw him come to the door. It was a summer night, and I didn't know he saw me in my car, because I had parked up the street a little bit, waiting for her to come down. He says, I know you took out Rosie Sankiewicz. He says, that's okay with me, just don't marry her. Said, you want to screw her, go ahead.
Oh, God.
She wasn't that kind of girl.
Yeah.
No, that she wasn't, Rosie.
Well, my parents are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Look at this. Did you see the Munis's
Well-
post that she's at the gym with a friend?
No.
Yeah. I can't. My finger.
Well-
Come here.
I'll tell you, Corey has. She's not Jewish, but she's a lovely girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He picked a good one.
Huh?
He picked a good one.
Yeah,
Good
his
person.
daddy did.
Yeah.
But you'll never turn Jewish.
No.
I don't think.
So they'll have kids that are half Jewish.
I'll be alright.
No, these people are Pakistanis, but the Indians are the same. I have a lot of close friends that are Indian.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm
I think they'll be fine.
I'm dating a Korean chick right now.
Oh, yeah?
I am. They said the same thing though.
Koreans, yes.
They prefer I marry Jewish.
Korean.
Korean.
I remember when I quit work, when I retired, they sent a girl from the office to interview me. And one of the guys says to me, oh, Miss Thomas is coming over. I said, Miss Thomas? He said, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. So sure enough, I think someone told me to go into a room, a special room they had for interviews. And I did, and this Chinese girl comes in, born in the United States, beautiful as hell. So I said, are you married? She said, yes. Your name is Miss Thomas? She said, yes. I said, your husband is not Chinese. She said, no. But she was beautiful.
You liked her?
Oh, right away. I was married at the
He
time.
just likes to look at beautiful women.
Who
It's not like
doesn't?
he would have married her.
Who doesn't?
Oh, she was beautiful.
I told Zach
What?
Do what you want, because you're gonna do what you want. But I would prefer him in the end to
Huh?
marry somebody who is of his culture.
She said, "Do what I want, but marry someone Jewish."
Of a Jew, I think so. I mean, it would be easier for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, you would, in the long run, these things like traditions and stuff like that don't seem important to you right now. But as you get older, for some reason, they become more important. That's all I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
And when you can't relate to somebody else or the person you're with, you have to say, oh, well, this means that, and that means this, and this is why we do things like this. Wouldn't you rather be with somebody who already knows what it's all about? It's comfortable. It's pleasant. It's what you want to instill into your offspring. And, you know, it's not that she's not a good person or a brilliant person and has achieved a lot in her life, her short life so far.
You feel more
But-
comfortable with her family, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, yeah,
I know.
yeah. I got the
Was it-
message.
I was very, very comfortable with the Lizaks.
That's,
Yeah, I got it. You could relate on a bunch of levels, I guess.
And you know, the old man was not he was he believed in Judaism, but he wasn't a religious guy.
Why don't you tell Zach about all the naughty things that your children did?
The girls are what?
She's,
Why don't you tell Zach all the naughty things that your children did when they were little?
Oh, when I was in the army.
no. All the naughty things that they did. Your daughters.
Joyce, Amy, and Lori.
Did they do naughty things?
No, just Lori.
The girls?
Yeah.
Oh, they were nice things to me. No, there were a couple of girls.
No. Dad,
Your daughters.
your daughters. Tell Zach if you remember any naughty things that your daughters did when they were little that you remember.
I only remember that party she had.
Who is she?
What happened? Amy?
Yeah, you had. You remember that party?
Yeah, I remember
16 years old?
What was
Yeah.
that?
that.
And
Oh, boy.
a couple of guys came and he crashed.
Couple of guys, the
Oh,
whole
what-
school.
Huh?
The
I
whole
mean, I
school
wanted to have a
crashed.
party with just a few people, and it ended up that they crashed it in high school. It all went around, and the whole school walked up the street.
Oh,
Police
yeah, the
came.
cops came.
Yeah, and what did you do? You whacked me in the butt with a broom.
Who called the cops?
Who knows?
Across the street.
Yeah, and who you went after me with the broom?
I did?
Yes, you did. You were pissed.
Were they home?
Yeah, that's the stupid part of it. Why did I do that?
And then I gave her the automobile to drive. And you remember you drove over the wall?
Yeah, I backed this kid had a driveway.
I
He had
didn't
a
get angry
retaining
with it.
wall, right? And there was a drop down. The wall was level with the driveway.
Yeah, how
So
to
there
get
was
in.
not like you could see how far to back up. You couldn't see, so one wheel dropped over.
How'd you get that out?
They towed me, didn't they? They
Yeah, a
lifted-
tow truck.
Yeah.
Got a tow truck.
Oh, he was pissed there too.
Well, I wasn't angry.
Oh no? Okay.
I was.
Oh, fire! You're fire.
But poor Lori, she's the only one that had to go to school locally.
Huh?
Yeah.
I didn't have enough money to send her to college.
Ah.
But I sent Joyce to college and Amy.
I did all right. It's okay.
Yeah. And
Even though I would have liked the experience of being off on my own.
Well, you were, weren't you? No?
I commuted to school every day by myself. That was,
It's tough.
it was growth.
I-
And at that time, New York wasn't cleaned up like it is now. So you would go to the Port Authority, and there would be hookers sitting on top of things on the corner of 40th and 8th Avenue.
I remember
There
when.
was bums laying and bums like underneath the ground with the PATH train. And if I took the bus home, sometimes I took the train. So would
I
take the
remember
train from Clifton to Hoboken, get the PATH train to 33rd Street,
Yeah.
walk from underground 33rd Street through the tunnels up to 27th, where FIT was on 6th Avenue. And there would be gross bums laying there. You'd have to walk over. I mean, it was different. It was fun, but it was different. But I didn't get the experience of being away and being really on my own, but it was okay. I used to visit friends that were away at school.
I remember I asked Amy not to join a sorority because it was expensive. So she joined a
Anyway.
sorority.
Drained the bank account.
Yeah. So it cost me more money.
That's why you had none for me.
Sorority.
I had to take a $10,000 loan.
Do you know how much
Amy.
mine was a semester? $99.
Wow. You know how much
Semester.
mine was? 20 grand.
Yeah. Because I was and that was being out of state. I was in New Jersey. They had dorms at FIT. I could have easily lived in a dorm. There were people that lived in dorms, but he wouldn't let me.
No, Amy
That's okay. I did
and
okay.
Joyce, I
It's
sent to
small
the
for
college and she quit and went to a local college.
Who?
You remember?
Joyce went to Hartford Art School,
Yeah.
quit Hartford Art School, and went to Montclair.
Yeah, she went
She was
to a
not
school
capable
in,
of really being on her own.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
It's a famous school.
Hartford.
Huh?
Hartford.
Hartford, yeah. And then she
I thought
quit
they were in
and
this
went
chair,
to
man.
school. I didn't tell her to quit. She went to school, a local school, Montclair.
She moved back home?
It was
She
after
came
she was
back
divorced,
home.
she moved back home, and he offered to send her back to school to get her teaching degree, and she didn't do it, which was the biggest mistake ever.
But how is she? She doesn't have a teaching degree?
No, she does not.
That's why she's like a sub.
She is a paraprofessional, which means someone who just works in the school system, but you can't teach a class. Which is silly because she would have had a lot more benefits if she could have been retired by now.
Yeah.
And had a pension and all that, but she just likes to take.
Well, she never remarried.
I'm sure that was a tough time.
Yeah, I won't get into that.
It was a tough time after the divorce, I'm sure.
Oh, she's not going to marry again.
No.
And Amy was married twice.
Poor Amy just had a poor judge in character. She's really a sweetheart.
She's the best.
Who?
Amy. She just chose the wrong people.
Yeah.
You know what? At least she has
Lovely kids.
lovely kids and grandchildren and a
Yeah.
great job that keeps her really happy. Amy's not an unhappy person. You know who is?
All I
Are you
know is
referencing yourself? I'm like,
when she left. What the hell was her first husband's name?
Who? Amy? Mark.
Mark. When she left Mark called me on the telephone and asked me to fix
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
just said that.
yeah.
Dad.
Yeah.
Obviously you didn't, because
I
that's
said,
a
I'm
dumb,
sorry.
It's a dumb
I
thing to
can't
ask.
do that.
Wasn't he abusive?
Yes.
That's
He was emotionally abusive.
how dare he ask that question?
He never got remarried.
He never got married.
Nope.
No, she said one other thing she once mentioned to me. He couldn't perform.
Oh,
He couldn't get it up.
really? Maybe that's why he was abusive. Interesting.
No, he was very much into drugs.
Sounds like a stand-up guy.
Yep. No, he was not a good person.
I bet he didn't call Thelma.
No.
Except for the rest of my life, the only time I had sex was the first time
I don't need to
was
know
with a professional.
Ah!
Really? Your first was with a professional?
Twice. Yeah. What? There was a guy who owned a candy store.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is
How the hell is her name? And he gave us the address.
A brothel?
Yeah. In New York City.
Uh-huh.
You knock on the door. This woman came to the door. She was a woman. She was the madam.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was an older lady. And she says, yes, and you'd say, Joe sent me.
Come in.
And she had two girls working there.
Uh-huh. How old are you?
They were young girls.
How old are you?
Oh, 17.
Uh-huh.
First time. And then I went back again.
So you enjoyed
He
it?
had such a good time, he went back again.
When I got back, this woman
Guess they didn't
liked
have like
me for
venereal
some reason.
diseases back then.
How much was it?
I think it was $10.
$10?
Oh, Jesus.
It's a lot of money back then.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
It was alright. Seems like you had a good time.
Yeah. And it was illegal.
Uh-huh. But was it...
Made it even better.
Yeah. But obviously people were doing it.
The police didn't give a damn about those things.
Yeah.
The only thing they cared about was getting involved with gangsters.
Yeah.
I told them I was reading a story about Willie Sutton. Laura,
Wow.
do you know the story about Sutton?
Willie Sutton.
Who's Willie
Willie
Sutton?
Sutton.
I don't know who
He's a
he is.
gangster. Or, no.
He wasn't a gangster,
boxer.
he was a thief.
Oh, thief.
He worked by himself.
Yeah.
And he used to rob banks.
Ooh.
Never shot anyone.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't believe in killing.
Ooh.
That's the way it turned out.
Yeah.
But he was recognized by this Jewish kid. Well, Jewish kid, he was 20 years old.
Yeah. You told me about it. You just told me.
Yeah.
All I can tell you is that you should have known his mother.
Why?
She was awesome.
Who?
Sophie.
She taught you how to cook,
I
right?
said Sophie was awesome.
Sutton.
Sophie.
I'm
She
talking
said.
about your mother.
Oh, my mom. She was a great lady.
She did teach me how to cook. She was a good cook. Very good cook.
It's key.
Real Jewish grandmother.
And she
cook.
favored my children.
Yeah.
Yeah. She loved the others, but her favorite grandchildren were mine. Amy, Joyce, and Lori. So especially Lori. Lori used to, New Year's Eve he used to spend with her, right?
Yeah.
What would you do?
That was after my father passed away. Yeah, because he passed away before I got married.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. I wanted to name Kate Sophie or something. Jamie wouldn't let me.
Why?
He didn't like the name. I love the name.
She
Like,
liked
if
it.
you ever
I
have
know.
if you ever have a daughter, you can name her Sophia, Sophie.
Sophie.
I know Kate liked that name.
Yeah.
Her own. Her children, my grandchildren were her own. That's what she used to say.
No, she used to say, "You're mine."
Yeah. I told them I never forgot the party Meyer held and never
Yeah, I
told
know.
me
You don't
about
have to
it.
tell me because I know that. I know.
I've never
You know
forgotten
what?
that.
You know what? That was stupid on his part.
He had Bernie and Francis there,
It just.
and the schmuck invites my mother and doesn't pick her up to take him there. Take her home to the party. I guess he had to invite my mother because she used to call him every day. You know, the girls.
She was a nice. She always did the nice thing.
So he says to me, "Why don't you join the party?" I said, "No thanks," and I left.
Yeah.
And I was PO'd about that there.
Well, instead of being angry, you could have turned to him and said, "I'm not staying where I wasn't invited from the first place. That's pretty shitty of you. Why don't you sit and think about what you did?" And I would then walk away. Instead of being pissed, I would tell the asshole what a fucking asshole he was. That's basically what I would have done.
I like Frances.
Yeah, she's a good woman.
But Thelma did not favor, was not favored by,
I know, Dad.
what?
Rose, Frida, Isabel.
Now, who the hell was Meyer's wife?
Isabel.
Oh, Isabel, right. In order to get into their graces, she decided that she didn't like Thelma either.
Just doesn't make her a very smart person. You make your own decisions.
So,
I put the dryer on.
they
for
were
something
too
a little
friendly
longer,
with
so
each
it's damp.
other.
And I hung your thing